Hey y'all, how y'all doing today? So let me try and knock this out as quickly as possible so y'all can get back to scrolling or whatever you're doing. So all the time, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I have topics that I really don't be wanting to talk about. I keep pushing it to the bottom of the list. I make my little list and push it down to the bottom. And Kanye and his recent stuff that's been going on and Kyrie and everything. I just didn't want to hop on the bandwagon and start talking about it. So I kept pushing it to the back, right? And today I went to a funeral, my great aunt. And as everybody was standing up and talking about why they missed her or whatever. This one person got up and they told the story. And it ended, the moral of the story was never underestimate a dummy. So my topic was geez, what was it? Oh, be careful of not wanting to take advice due to a person's lifestyle choices and or what you deem their sanity, whether they be sane or insane or whatever, right? And this thought, of course, got sparked by Kanye, but it's really not totally about him. I just want to kind of tell my little journey about how I miss I just didn't take people's advice when I needed to. So at first there was this one guy named Lester. And Lester was the neighborhood crackhead, right? And of course, nobody respected Lester. And, he was smart, though. If you actually listen to him, he had a lot of knowledge. He could fix all kind of stuff. He just was full of knowledge, but it was trapped inside this crackhead. And I met him personally and was able to talk to him because I was working at this arcade. And the woman who owned the arcade, she used to have him doing everything. And I just used to sit there and watch him because when she was gone, I would run the arcade. And I would just sit there and watch him. And she would have him doing everything in the world. And at the end of the day, she would pay him $2. And I felt sorry for him. But at the same time, I had the same view of him that everybody else had in the neighborhood. It was just like, Lester the crackhead. Nobody respects you. Move away. But one day, Lester had told me, he said, he was sweeping or mopping or doing something. And he said, everybody that smile in your face ain't your friend. Now, I believe I had heard that before, but because it was Lester, I don't know why it stuck in my memory. But even still, when he said it at that moment, I was like, whatever. Should have listened to Lester. Because everybody that I was surrounded by at the time in that particular place was not my friend. Oh boy, I didn't learn that till later. But if they are ready and willing to treat him like this, oh baby, it's something, you know. But I should have listened to Lester. But because of what I thought about Lester, I blew him off, right? Now, I'm going to take it away from regular old people. Prince. Oh my God, Prince used to be my man back in the day. I mean, not my man in my eyes or nothing, but like I just loved Prince and I was little. Like, I love Prince. But when he started walking around with slave written on his face, I know I was too young to have these thoughts. And I look back at myself like, how did you even think that? But anyway, I was thinking to myself, I was like, this nigga done lost his mind. Why is he walking around with slave on his face? And I was listening to the stuff he was saying in his interview, but I was still blowing him off like, pish posh. Then he turned into the symbol, and I was like, ah! But looking back on some of them interviews, might have been onto something. Michael Jackson, when he got into trouble, y'all know the trouble he got into. We ain't going there. But when he got in trouble, it dimmed his light for me some. You know what I'm saying? Because I was definitely that snagger-tooth child running around talking about I'm bad, you know it. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of which, did y'all know? I mean, this is a sidetrack, but since we just got through talking about these two people, and I don't know where it come from, but did you know that Prince was supposed to be on the Bad album? And the reason why he said he didn't want to be on the Bad album is on that song is because it starts off saying something about your butt. What was that line? Oh my God. Anyway, back to the, y'all look it up. Y'all probably know it off the top of y'all head. Whatever. Back to the topic. So, Mike, you know, when he had his troubles, I was like, oh, nigga. I'm sorry I keep saying this word, but it's embedded. I was like, ah. But I was, listening to him back in the day when he got up there and he was talking about Sony and the this and the that. And I was like, oh, here he go again. But looking back, he might have been on to something. I'm just saying. Dave Chappelle. I know you just got out of a little jam lately, and I don't want to bring light back on you, but when he got in his trouble back in the day and lost $50 million because he was saying and standing for some things that he just, he was dead set on. He didn't want to wear the dress and, all kind of little stuff he was talking about. Go check out that interview on Oprah back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Or when he came, right before he left and went to Africa, go watch some of those interviews, and you're gonna be like, cause I totally had jumped on a bandwagon with the rest of the world, like this nigga done lost it. He done lost it. I ain't got time. I wasn't here for none of it. Okay, let's speed forward. Orlando Brown. I'm sorry to say, I know that he behind the Georgia pie. I know. But that boy done been around the world and yeah. He done been real close to a whole lot of areas. And he may be crazy by now. So I'm bringing back the sanity, what we think about their state of mind. He might be. However, I think there's some sprinkles. Because if you go back and look at some of them interviews, even though he talking all crazy and la and all that craziness, there's been a couple things that done slipped on out, and I was like, sound just like what he said. Let's move forward. And Charles Manson. Yes, I know. Y'all gonna be like, what is this crazy thing doing on the list? Okay, let me tell you why this crazy thing is on the list. So, some years ago, I was watching his interview. Don't know why my young self was watching his interview, but it was a while ago. I don't even think I had no kids. Yeah. Anyway, so so I'm watching his interview, and as they talking to him, and every question they ask, he don't answer one single question. Everything he talking about what he want to talk about, and I was like, this nigga is crazy. He real crazy, just like they said. Yes. But I happened to run across that interview again, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. For whatever the reason, I decided to watch it again, even though I watched it already, right? How about while they're asking him all these questions, he's talking about what's going to happen economically. And lo and behold, a lot of those things have happened thus far. So I wonder how much of it is happening and going to happen. Don't underestimate the dummy. Y'all have a good day.